She's a wonderful person, and she has spent a lot of time committing a lot into education. She's a graduate of EdTech from the University of Tartu in Estonia. And she's also one of the amazing team working for the EdTest 2021 in Estonia. So all the way from Estonia, Tallinn in Estonia, help me welcome on board Anastasia Chuneva. Thank you, Anastasia, you're welcome on board.
Thank you. Yep, I'm muted, and I'm gonna share my screen with you as well. One sec. There. Yes, I have been spending a lot researching the educational issues, like the issues that teachers encountered during their work, especially in these 2 years of COVID crisis. So we have found a lot of interesting things that have been overlooked so far. So there is a genuine need to invest in teachers. And by investing, I don't mean just money, just dumping money into there, investing time, investing energy, investing effort in reorganizing, restructuring the whole system, because the system we had so far is not functioning as we wanted to, as teachers wanted to. So what are those issues that we have to pay attention to? We have teachers that are there. They are on the ground, they are in schools, and they are in contact with their students. They are in the universities, they are in the academies. So they are in the contact with those people, with their real students. So they can be a powerful source of information to policymakers and administrations. So therefore, there need to be a dialogue between these two parts. They also have to provide emotional support. They have to provide psychological support during the switches, during normal classes on site, yes, but also they have to be able to provide that while they're being forced to switch from one mode to another. And also what we have is that they need to accommodate their students' needs, and the needs are growing. So society is changing, the world around us is changing, so there is a need to accommodate all those things, like VR, like all that ed tech or just technology, and teachers have to be able to do so. Now, why is it important to invest? I mean, I'm talking to the basically schools and policy makers with this, but the teachers can also collaborate. They should collaborate. We expect them to collaborate in that. Professional development. So everything that you can find, everything. It's like the suitable path, the new ways of teaching. That is obvious, right? But every day we should put a very decent amount of time into that. Educators' well-being. This matter has been hugely overlooked during this past year, because they not only had to deal with their own personal things going on in their life, but the students would bring their own from their home. So it's not just the classroom management, it's so much more. It's like the families are being affected, and the children or the students in general, they would bring it to the classroom. So the educators have to be able to deal with that professionally. Also, one more thing that we have found out is that the educators function as the external support system for the motivation, to prevent the motivation drops. So students have been more and more alienated during this online kind of mode, while being forced to stay at home, basically. So they started all right, and they were feeling more and more like an outsider. So there was no group feeling, there was no community for them. So teachers had to function, had to put so much more energy into that to keep the group together in the virtual environment that was not unfamiliar for their students. And the last one, but not the least, is educator tech skills and ed tech knowledge. So the tech skills and ed tech knowledge are not the two different, like, it is not the same. It's like two completely different things. Ed tech skills means that you know how to meaningfully use technology. So you are able to operate that, and you know when and where and how to insert it in your own classroom for it to make the learning process much more enjoyable or fruitful for your students and yourself. Now, tech skills is basically that you're able to operate those systems. So you're not just surviving with them, you're fully able to operate all the functions of the instruments that you have been handed. What do we have to do with that now? So all these steps are highly important, and we have encountered problems with the step number 1 as well, to identify the problems that the teachers are facing in their like school, universities, whatever. Among my respondents, there have been a lot of similar kind of comments, complaints, or requests that have been neglected for some reason by the administration. So like the step 1 is failing already. So we have to establish these kind of very honest and very kind dialogue between the administration, the policymakers, and the teachers. Because right now it's like, looks like two different worlds. So we need to go to the teachers and we need to honestly ask them what is happening on the ground, what is happening with you, what is happening with your students, where do you need our help, how can we help you? And basically the second major request was organizing training and like giving them a support system in both how to manage technology and how to manage the ed tech, how to incorporate technology meaningfully in their everyday lessons, everyday school life. We do need to put a lot of effort and a lot of attention into the dialogue between the administration and the teachers, between the administration, teachers, and parents or students if they're like not underage. This would basically help everybody. I mean, the policymakers, their point is in make it work, make the system work. So if they look at the problematic parts, pardon me for calling problematic, like issues, okay, so they can tackle those and make the system work. Students can request what they need or what they want, because what we have seen in K2 education here in Estonia, that they were all overloaded. They were completely overloaded with the screen time, with the workload after their lessons, or like after the 8 hours of screen time, they had to like go back to their computers and do their homework. So the parents were expecting different things from schools, like they were expecting schools to control the kids. So that's why the problem started with the 8-hour schooling system online. Also teachers, we have to go back there and to ask, how are you doing? How are your students doing? Basically, we need all 3 parts to be there, present in a dialogue, in a constant dialogue. So it's not like once a year after like the school year is done, okay, how'd it go? No, it should be like constant, and it should be kind, and it should be trustful, and there should be a feeling that you can share honestly what is really happening, not covering it up, not like excusing yourself or like pretending that everything is okay, even if it's not. We are in it together, teachers, educators, parents, students, policymakers, the government, we are in it together. So we have to make it work together. And the school system is changing right now drastically. And it is unlikely that we would go back to what we had before all that. So we have to like basically restructure the whole thing. And for that, we need a collaboration of everybody. And the last one is the freedom of maneuver. Like every single change is it requires time. So we should be ready, we should be mentally prepared for the results to drop a little bit before they just soar after reconstruction. But what we have seen that nobody was prepared for the results to drop, or for the performance to drop, or for the output to drop a little bit. And that would cause panic. And basically that should be said aloud, that it can happen and it probably will happen. So be prepared for that. Don't freak out, don't panic, that is okay. Now, what I'm expecting from you now is a question. Okay, Anastasia, that's cool, but I'm a teacher, what can I do? So what can the teachers do if the school is not cooperative, or if the school is not cooperative, or if they're in their closed area and they don't know what to do? So first of all, surround yourself with those who understand, support, and encourage you. Find your support group. Find teachers who think alike. Find we live in the 21st century. We have internet, so we have this kind of meetings, we have this kind of networking. So find those who support and who stand with you there, because you're not there alone. There are a lot of teachers, there are a lot of educators in the same situation, and they have been coping with that, and they have found the ways out of it already. So look for those. Just, that's okay, you are where you are, but look for those people. They will help you a huge deal. Now, what else can you do? You can exercise the freedom that you already have. We have found out that teachers' development and teachers' progress in acquiring ed tech or just technology skills, it stops where they find that limitation of their freedom. So there are some things imposed by the schools or universities or whatever, regulating what can they use, what cannot they use, like the mode of teaching. Are they synchronous or asynchronous? What tools are they using? So they would evolve until they reach that level. So you have some amount of freedom. You can try those tools. It can be low case, it can be tiny experiments, but you still can do that. And please do that. Find it would be good for you personally, professionally, and for your students. And develop a plan. Find out how can you progress personally and professionally as a teacher. Find those 10 trainings, attend them. Find networking events, find matchmaking events. There are a lot of people who are there to help you. They want to help you, and they have means to help you. And I'm again not talking just about money. I'm talking about experience. I'm talking about time. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about tools or hints or tips. How can you make something work? So go and look for those people. And you definitely should have some kind of professional development plan, how to make it work for yourself in your environment where you are right now. I would probably stop here. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Contact me right now in the chat box. I will leave you my email if you wanna contact me personally. Before I do so, please, dear teachers, remember that you're not in that alone. There are plenty of people who are there to help you. They're waiting for you to just take a step forward, because we need the initiative coming from people as well, coming from teachers as well. Everything is doable, everything is possible, even if you feel like you're tight, your hands are tight, you're very limited in your schools, in your universities, but there is still a lot to be done, and you still can do a lot, and you will feel fulfilled basically while doing that, even if it's a limited amount of change that you can make. That is it for now. Thank you for your attention, and I'm waiting for your comments.
All right, thank you, Anastasia, for that. That was so awesome, so powerful. I really want to say a very big thank you for the time spent and for the research that I really gone into that. I know you're a researcher, and you must have done a lot of work on that. Thank you so much. But just one question from here, in the course of the presentation, you mentioned something about meaningful use of technology. To someone might be asking, okay, is there a way I'm using technology in such a way that is not, it's not meaningful enough? Can you please spend a few minutes and shed more light on that? What do you mean by meaningful use of technology? Is there something that on meaningful use of technology, or can you say something about that, please?
Well, to shortly answer to that, yeah. Basically, you should know what you want before you find the tool for that. It's not people for the technology, it's the technology for the people. So you're there, you know your classroom, you know your teacher, students, you know what you're working with, and you know what is your goal for that particular lesson. So now you know what you want. Now, how can you make it happen? If it's on site, that's one story. If it's online, it's another story. You have to be very clear about your environment, like where you're trying to apply that. And you should be very clear about the outcome you want to get out of it. It might take some researching from your side to try something. Like you can get 3 tools, 5 tools, or 10 or more similar to each other. They can look similar, but just one of them would fit your needs. So this is a little bit time consuming. It took me a long time to figure out what I needed. It'd be like hours spent on that, but that was worth it. So once you find something that would tackle that particular issue. So for example, we had Kahoot, right? Like everybody knows Kahoot. You just don't like throw that into the classroom, because for some students, it would not fit. For some activities, it would not fit. For some environments, it would not fit. So just be reasonable with what and why you are doing that. First of all, you are there and your students are there. So everything that is happening around that, it is for you guys. So make sure it is working for you, not against you. If it's not suitable enough, there is something else that would fit your needs better. So I would like stop here with the meaningful use. So make sure that it fits the need, that meets the need that you're trying to, and the goal that you're trying to accomplish during your lesson with that particular tool.
Thank you, Anastasia. That was a wonderful presentation. I'm sure everyone here agrees with the speakers that we are in the future and we have to be intentional about it.